right shoulder problem was an accident in the marina where we kept our boat. They rebuilt our dock and moved us back in once the thing was done. They just didn't tell us that they had two boards missing on every finger pier. My neighbor came in and wanted help with his lines, so I went over to help him and fell right through the two boards that were missing and caught myself on my elbows, and it tore up both shoulders. The right one was the one that had to be operated on first. So I had rotator cuff surgery back in August of 1988. After that, I didn't have any problems at all with the right arm, the right shoulder, anything. Towards the end of the winter, I started having some pain in the shoulder, not severe, but it was pain. So my physical therapist started working with me on electric stimulation and heat and ultrasound, and that helped a little bit. But in April, when we were getting ready to go to Germany for a month for my brother-in-law's 75th birthday, he suggested that I get a cortisone injection. So I went and had one, and the first one was no problem. It helped a little bit. It didn't help a lot, but there was still some room for improvement. So just before we were supposed to get ready to leave, I went back for a second cortisone injection, and this one was done in a different part of the shoulder. It was done in the front. Right after that second cortisone injection, that's when I started having severe pain and also the weakness. And the pain persisted, got even worse at night when I was asleep. And I would very often have to get up and take a couple of Percocet to go back to sleep just because of the pain. Putting the dishes away in the cabinet, having to lift my arm up and put the dishes in there, I couldn't do that with my right arm because I didn't have the strength to even lift them up out of the dishwasher and put them up into the cabinet. I had been given a prescription for an MRI, so as soon as I got back in June, I went for the MRI, and it revealed a massive tear of the rotator cuff. And the remedy that was suggested by an orthopedic surgeon that I went to from another one from my physical therapist recommended this guy. So we went to him, and he said he wanted to do a total reverse shoulder replacement. And so I went to talk to my physical therapist again, and in the process, my wife had gotten on the internet to look and see what the story was with this shoulder replacement thing. And at the time, she found the stem cell information. And so I brought that to my physical therapist, and he and I discussed it, and he knows doctors all over the area. He's been into practice here for over 30 years, and he's been a good friend for almost 30 years. And so he said he'd let me do a little research on this and find out. So he did some research, and he was able to find that Dr. Friedlis was the guy in the area who knew what he was doing and has been doing it since the beginning when it was authorized. With the surgery, there's no guarantee that it's going to work. And if it doesn't work, there's no place else to go. So the idea, which is what my physical therapist and I discussed, was the fact that if the stem cell treatment works, and it seemed to have a pretty good result already, that would be the way to go. So that's why we did it, and that's why I'm very happy that it worked. From the very beginning, it was a very wonderful feeling to be able to get something done that didn't involve pain. And I had enough pain from the problem with the shoulder to begin with that I didn't need any more pain. I was able to start doing the things that I had to stop doing because of the lack of strength and the pain associated with it. So right now, the stem cell treatment basically has done a lot more than I ever anticipated would be happening. This is something that I really believe in. I really do. I mean, I think this is, in my opinion, going to make it a lot easier for people who are, number one, afraid of surgery, and number two, might not even get better with surgery and might still have problems. So I think that anybody who looks into this is going to see to it that there's a lot of advantages to doing this as opposed to getting into surgery.